All right, traders, welcome to Quad S Trading, and we are live. We're going to go over all the trades of last week. Have a look at the whole month now that May is done. It is the first month that we're pretty much break even or in the red if you were to include all your fees, because this spreadsheet does not include the fees. So this is for it's easier to say if you were to use a prop firm like Trade the Pool where there is no locates and overnight fees, this would be your exact winnings, losses minus the, I don't know, I think it's like 75 cents per 100 shares that you short. So this is just minus fees, which is very minimal if you trade the pool, but if you use a broker, the fees are a lot more significant. So let's have a look here. So our week last week was negative minus 10.42%. But the week before we were at 22%, and then the week prior to that was minus 9.8, and we had minus 2 because one only had the few days there. So on the month we do have only a 0.56% growth. Now this is the lowest month that we've had in about a year and a half. As you can tell, profit factor is in the negative, of course. VW is a 58% win rate. Our EXT is 38, and our DV is 47. So really, there's two stocks this month that more or less destroyed us. We have TDIC and ASTC. Now, in this spreadsheet, I put every single trade that triggered a trade base off of the two indicators that we used. For example, QTX this here has some stuff with quantum, and ASTC has aerospace and space and defense. These stocks are hot right now. Quantum and anything space is hot because of the SpaceX IPO and because the government Trump dumped money into quantum stocks. So right now those two things are really hot. And more or less anything AI, there's a lot of companies are doing these, what I call these exit scams. I'll give you an example. Bird last month, it did I'm selling my shoes to get into the AI space. It pumped, I don't know, 500% of whatever it was, and then straight back down to where it was before the pump. So those are my AI exit scams. But anyways, all that set aside, let's have a look at our trades. So QTEX, so this one here is the quantum one, right? So right here, quantum. So there's a DV right here. As you see, there's a red, orange, green. You enter on the label here. So our labels, I actually made a change to them so that when the label is setting up, it's going to go yellow. And when it triggers the trade, it goes green, and it'll tell you what trade it is, at what price is your entry, and the quantity of shares. So we had a little bit of a change to the indicator. So here we have a DV. So you enter on the close below, and we cover the following day around 10:30 at 133. So this is a very small loss of $232. Now the next day, it did that afternoon it did a REM trade. The REM is when a stock goes overextended. Like you see this here, just goes straight up vertical. So we from here all the way up to here, it's pumping crazy. The vertical, we take a position and we cover the following day. Same thing, 10:30. Unfortunately, the next day this thing's tanking nicely, but then it pumped again and we got stopped out. And that is it for this trade here. It was only those two trades. Then you have YMAT. This one here did a DV, right? So here's your label. DV at 140. Quantity is 5,300 shares roughly. So this thing's popped out of nowhere. This thing, like within a few candles, just went crazy. 260% within 3 candles, which is wild. So boom, boom, boom. You wait for this here, red, orange, green on the close below. This is your entry. Now this here was a halt. So it opened here and it closed. So you could have entered anywhere in this area here. And you cover the following day, 10:30. And we just missed it by about an hour where it just tanked right after. But sometimes you'll see stocks that will tank, or you'll see stock like QUTX like this that pumps up, right? So there's no way of telling which ones will go where, so we just cover. We want that early morning dump. That's what we're looking for. Because a lot of stocks will dump like at open. It will dump and then it will come back up in the afternoon. So 10:30 is roughly where we cover on these trades here. This is a nice win of 1,339. And then over here, some people took this trade. I did not, but it pumped well over 150% here, and you take in the position here, and you take either a 20% profit, which is right here, or end of day, SMA, lots of options here, but some people in our Discord took this trade here. FGL, we have this one here. So this is a pop from the day before in the after hours, right? 107%. We see red, orange, green. So that means you take the position on the first close below the VWAP, which is right here at 324 for roughly 1,500 shares. And you cover the following day at 10:30. And this was also bouncing off this current monthly pivot, which is a resistance area. So nice little win on this one here. ASTC, this is one of them that just destroyed us. I don't even remember the news was on this one. Let's have a look. I like to use dilution tracker. ASTC. This is the aerospace one I was talking about, right? Aerospace. Right now, aerospace industry is hot. And if you go to the news, oh yeah, it's this lunar resource infrastructure. Anyways, there was some significant news based on moon-based quantum computing manufacturing and aerospace. So this is where we're talking about quantum and space, where they both met together, and that just created a disaster of trades for us. Now in the Discord, I did mention do not trade this or do a half share on this one because aerospace and quantum is very hot right now. So a lot of members actually didn't even trade this. I did because, well, you can't really be a hypocrite and say, hey, trade the strategy, but then I don't do it unless I say in the Discord not to do it. Either way, I traded it. And some of them, like I said, did have positions. Some of them didn't trade at all because, well, at least not these few pumps here because of the industry that it's in and the moment that we are right now, where it's quantum and aerospace is pumping like crazy. So anyways, this thing pumps like this. I think this is over 100% right here, easy, 200%, 250%. That's crazy. Comes down. This is a VW1. So historically, if this was not aerospace quantum, it would have came back down because that's what this pattern does with like an almost a 70% win rate. But because we're in the wrong industry, it pumped, stopped us out here. Now it stopped us right before the halt, which is good because then we would have been closed out over here, which would have been an extra like almost 70 cents, which would have been pretty bad. So because this was a high of 888 and we're at 886. So we got stopped out right before the halt, which is great. Now it comes up here. It does a REM on this trade here, and it popped, stopped us out here. And it did another REM over here, stopped us out over here. Now, if you're going to go to the 4-hour chart, let's just remove this pivot here. I think was there some missed monthly pivots? Give me 1 second here. This has to be changed to 200. I can go back enough. But anyways, there are some missed monthly pivots, like right here, this one here, this one here. It just doesn't give you this purple line, but if we were to do a replay like this, oops, we do a replay. Will it show them? Yeah, there you go. See, there's a missed monthly pivot here, here, and here, and way up here. They almost hit this one here at $53. But these pivots here are nice. Usually, historically, not this one here because it's an exception because of the industry and the quantum and all the space stuff. It hits, it tanks, it hits, it tanks, it hits, it tanks, but not this one, not today. So here we are, loss, loss, loss. Now, this one right here, one pattern that we like to see is if it does a 3-day pump. Pump number 1, pump number 2, pump number 3, and it never closes below the SMA 200. So if you look at this one here, let's just zoom in here. Pumps up again, touches the SMA here, but never closes below. Pumps up again, closes, touches it, but never closes again. Next day here, when it finally closed below, we enter. So I took a position right here at 47.44 today, June 1st, and I'm still holding it at 34.93. So if we look at this from here down to here, it's a 26% win, which covers one of these losses. And I'm going to assume that this thing here comes up, the hype is done, and it's gonna slowly fade right back down to this pivot right here. That's what I'm shooting for. Nice little long downtrend. Problem with that is that next couple days there will be no volume for it to get in or to get out. Something to watch for that. RKTO, this one is a rebrand of HOTH, HOTH. It popped here like this, red, orange, green. Here's my DV. It looked good as this thing was coming down like this, but it just pumped right back up. Boom, stop out, and it just went up, 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 and up. And then look, see how sometimes it's just like 1 day, 2 days, cross below the VWAP starts coming down. Sometimes it's 3 days, but I like to shoot for 3 days. Close below the VWAP is right here. You would have hit 20% right there. I like to see the 3-day 3-day pump into a SMA 200. Just for example, another one like that, VCIG. Right, let's have a look. So it pumped, you know what, once, twice, 3 times. It closed below. So this one here, you've been stopped out from here to right here. A small 13% stop out, it's not a big deal. 1, 2, 3. There's your close below right here, and you get your 20%. Right there, there's 20%. Right, so you would have been up on those 2 trades. So that's something that we're to look at for is just when the stocks do that 3-day pump. SPRC, let's have a look at this one here. I think this is a big pump on this one here too. Yeah, nice 250% pump. Comes up. This is a VW1. So the VW1s and our VW2s, we don't have any labels for these ones here, like these ones here, because it's not set in stone. The VW1 could be, because it is based on rules, but in the same indicator we have the VW2, which that one cannot be because we have to look for that second pump. I just play these ones just from experience. It's just very simple. The VW1, it comes up, green circle, closable VWAP, enter. If this was yellow, it just means that it's a VW2, and I would need to see a second pump. So if it comes down like this, comes back up, second pump, closable VWAP, enter. And you close at the end of the day. So this one here was just a small loss of $158. That's just a paper cut there. But this, once again, this thing will work its way back down, because if you look at the 4-hour chart, it doesn't lie, right? It comes down, up, back down. So this here could be this here, and it's going to go right back down. It's going to crash. That's what these stocks do. NTC, this was a very nice win. We needed more of these this month. It pumped 200%. We had a lot of stocks that pumped 100, 200% within a few candles this month. There was tons of them. Unfortunately, they're usually between 4 a.m. and 5:30 when I'm still sleeping. But I'll have to start waking up early to get those trades done. So it comes up, VW1. As you can see, this is a green circle here, and it hits our close below the VWAP. This is your entry. It comes up, it's 25% against us, not a big deal because huge win of 35%. So a nice win of $1,897. ATPC, let's have a look at this one here. Again, a couple candles, boom, 200%. In the after hours, this day here, we have the red, the orange, the green. So the green circle is here, close below VWAP. Here's your entry. And unfortunately, it kind of sort of wait us out here. Boom, wait us out, and it came back. Some people in our Discord, they don't like to set stop losses like at a certain price. They like to wait to see if it closes above the stop. So there's 2 ways of doing it. I don't watch my chart all the time because I'm working. So once I enter a trade, I set a stop loss, and I wait for my profit target is end of day, next day 10:30 or whatnot. So I can't do that, close below our stop. But in this case here, right, this would have been your entry. 10:30 is roughly right here. You would have made 7% if you did that route for the stop loss. Historically, we've tested both ways. They're roughly the same profit. Some losses will be bigger, some of you will win. It ends up being more or less the same thing. Then we had mask. Let's have a look at this one here. Popped a little bit here, came up, and then it just went crazy. And it's just full of Chinese stocks this week. Tons, like 260%. This was a REM trade, which is what we call an EXT, so it's overextended stock. You know what? Boom, you take it here. And this one here, I held this one a little bit longer than I usually do. So it does say cover here at 488, but I actually held this one because, just because, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I didn't get stopped out here or here. So I'm just gonna wait it out till the end of the day, and I covered up at this area here. So in my account, I took a win on this, but in the spreadsheet, it's a loss of $93, which is just a paper cut. It's just pretty much to say that, hey, you didn't win the trade. STG, let's have a look at this one here. This one here popped, 167%. Once again, just crazy pumpers. See, this is the 530 range I was talking about. Comes up. So our VW1 does not allow a candle before 6 o'clock. And ideally, you want this one here to be a candle that is above the VWAP and closes down. You don't want this to already start trending down, right? Because your entry would have been right here. You don't want that. So I got patient, and when it came back up, and then it came up, closed below, it did a DV and a VW1. So there's two strategies in the same one here, like this, end of day, or you cover the following day. And this one here was at 456. It's like so. So if you like what you see, head over to our Discord. Like we exclusively short sell penny stocks. We use in the Elite Traders is more or less you have access to if you pay for the subscription, you get two indicators and you just trade based off the indicators. And if you want to actually learn how to short sell like intuitively, like learn it, not just signals, we do have a mastermind where you short sell with Sean, and he is an amazing short seller. And he actually teaches you how to trade. And right, so in April, we had an 87% month in April, huge month in April. March, 57%. February, which was extremely slow, we had like, I don't know, 10 trades, 4, 8, 10, 12 trades, and it's a 28% month, crazy. January, 55%. May, 0.53. Now, last May was also a really low month. So I'm going to assume this is based on because of the earnings. So we're going to start watching that. Like I don't think it's the reason why, like, May of last year, May this year, they're both bad months. I'm just going to assume that every May is going to be a break month or at least a half position month because they're not doing very well for the May. So anyways, that's it for this live session. Any questions, hit me up in Discord. We can also do a live call in Discord where I can show you around. I can show you our Discord. If you come over here, let me just sort it real quick. Give me 2 seconds here. For some reason, my Discord will not move. Let me just reload it. Discord. Anyways, Discord won't minimize. Let me just play around with this. Why isn't this working? There we go. I hit F11 and locked it into a big screen. So, in Elite Traders, for example, you know what? Sean traded these 4 trades, and this is his wins percentage on those trades, which is great. And we always talk about all the trades we are taking. And look, he drew this, and if you look at the stock, it actually pretty much did exactly what he said, which is great. We do have all of our scanners. Our scanners do include dilution, no dilution, all the news, all that kind of fun stuff. This is our VW scanner, which is for the VW strategy specifically. This is the optimal stocks to short because they have low market cap, low institutional ownership, low short interest with dilution. That's exactly what we want. Now we have here, what we're working on is our alert system. It all comes up here like this. So you will get when the stock is setting up. So that means the candle, if the candle were to close right now, it would be an entry. So it's a setup. That way you can get to set your order up and get ready to rock and roll. And when that candle closes and that label appears, you set up your order. So for example, today we had HKIT set up and there's an entry. So we're still working on this to make it a lot more intuitive, a lot easier to read. Tomorrow I made an update where the setting up, you'll see a yellow circle here and the entries are going to be a green circle. That way we can visually very quickly see the stocks when they get in and out. We also have a missed monthly pivot alert. So this one here just tells us when a stock is approaching a missed monthly pivot. Now the reason why this one here all true like this is because the 930 on the first of the month goes from a missed monthly or a previous pivot to a current monthly pivot, and any stock that is above that gets triggered in here. So at 930, you get everything that is above the current monthly pivot in our list goes on automatically, boom, and then after that, it's just all the stocks that that hit that. So, and then we have strategy talks. This is where we talk about our strategy, our indicators. They are right here. If you subscribe to them. In here, I have a trade log of every trade that are DV, EXT, and VW. And then we have tools, meal lessons, course, and all that kind of fun stuff. So anyways, if you like what you see, head over to Discord, send me a message, and we'll see you there.